In the remote highlands of Ethiopia, nestled over 2,500 meters above sea level, lies a wonder that defies conventional explanation. Here, structures of immense scale and profound beauty were not built in the way we understand construction. They were not assembled piece by piece, stone upon stone reaching for the sky. Instead, they were found within the very rock of the earth released from the volcanic tuff that has held them for centuries. The churches of Lalibela were not built. They were carved from the earth itself. The mind struggles to comprehend the sheer audacity of such an undertaking, a vision so grand, it seems to border on the impossible. What we are looking at is a landscape transformed, a holy city sculpted rather than constructed. For centuries, historians, archaeologists, and engineers have been captivated and confounded by what they find here. The official narrative tells us these 11 monolithic churches were created in the 12th century, a monumental feat of devotion and labor. But the deeper one looks, the more questions arise. How could such precision be achieved with the tools of the era? Was this truly the work of human hands alone, or is there more to the story, a chapter of our history that remains unread and unacknowledged? Here, in this remarkable landscape, the fundamental principles of architecture are inverted. We are accustomed to seeing structures rise from the ground, a careful assembly of individual components, bricks, blocks, beams joined together to create a cohesive whole. But Lalibela presents us with a radical departure from this logic. These are not buildings in the conventional sense. They are monoliths. Each of the 11 churches is a singular, continuous piece of stone, inextricably linked to the parent rock from which it was excavated. There is no mortar, no masonry, no joinery. Every pillar, every archway, every window, every intricate decorative detail is part of the original, solid mass. Imagine the vision required. To look upon a flat expanse of reddish volcanic tuff and not see a surface to build upon, but a solid volume to subtract from. The architectural genius of Lalibela is most profoundly expressed in its unique method of construction, a process of reverse carving that defies all norms. The work began not at the foundation, but at the roofline. From the surface of the volcanic plateau, artisans began to chisel downwards, first outlining the shape of the church's highest point. As they dug deeper, carving the trenches that would isolate the monolithic block, the roof would be the very first part of the structure to emerge from the stone. Drain's initial, decorative elements. It is a concept so counterintuitive it borders on the surreal. This top-down approach required an extraordinary level of three-dimensional foresight and planning. Every single element of the church's design had to be perfectly visualized before the first blow of the chisel. There was no room for error. A mistake made at the upper levels could not be corrected later. It would be permanently embedded in the final structure. The builders were not adding material, but taking it away. They were, in a very real sense, excavating a finished building from the solid rock. As the trenches deepened, the exterior walls would be revealed and meticulously shaped. Then, and only then, would the carvers turn their attention to the interior. From the top down, they would remove the rock, revealing ceilings, arches, pillars, chambers. The floor of the church would be the very last surface to be reached. Here, deep within the Ethiopian highlands, the spectacle of Lalibela is not confined to what rises, or rather descends, into the light. A hidden world exists beneath the surface, a subterranean kingdom of passages, tunnels. These are not mere corridors. They are the veins and arteries of this sacred complex, a network that binds each monumental church to the next, creating a journey that is as much spiritual as it is physical. To walk these tunnels is to leave the sunlit world behind and enter a realm of shadow, echo, and contemplation, a deliberate transition from the profane to the divine. To journey through these dark, womb-like tunnels is to undergo a form of rebirth. Emerging from the oppressive blackness into the sun-drenched courtyard of another church is a powerful metaphor for resurrection and spiritual enlightenment. And yet perhaps the most profound mystery of Lalibela is not its scale, but its perfection. Observe the walls. They are impossibly straight, rising from their foundations with a geometric precision that seems to defy the subtractive process used to create them. Look closer at the corners, where planes of volcanic tuff meet at perfect, unwavering right angles. There are no signs of crude hacking or approximation here. A mastery over the material that leaves modern engineers perplexed. Every pillar, every archway, every window frame seems to have been shaped by a guiding principle of mathematical harmony. There is growing evidence to suggest that the builders of Lalibela were looking not only to the ground beneath their feet, but also to the heavens above. Certain key features, windows, doorways, and even the orientation of entire structures appear to align with celestial events. The rising sun on the day of a solstice, for instance, might send a shaft of light through a specific opening to illuminate a crucial point on the altar. It's a phenomenon seen in other ancient sacred sites around the world, Stonehenge, temples of the Nile. Could it be that the layout of Lalibela is, in fact, a terrestrial map of the celestial sphere? Some researchers have proposed that the positioning of the churches relative to one another mirrors constellations or significant stars. The very act of pilgrimage, moving from one church to the next, could have been intended to replicate a journey through the heavens. Of course, we must be cautious. Without the original plans or written testimony, proving such intent is difficult. Skeptics note that correspondences can be coincidental. Yet the possibility is tantalizing. To imagine these master builders as astronomers imbues their work with an even greater sense of wonder. Whether deliberate observatory or beautiful accident, the potential connection to the stars invites us to see Lalibela as part of a timeless human quest to find our place within the grand, silent order of the cosmos. Here, in the hushed highlands of Ethiopia, where the veil between the earthly and the divine seems at its thinnest, the story of Lalibela's creation transcends mere human endeavor. Local tradition holds that while workers toiled by day, angels took up the tools by night, continuing the monumental task with supernatural speed and precision. This narrative is a profound expression of faith, a way to comprehend the seemingly impossible. The night belonged to the angels, said to have accomplished double the work of the men. Beyond the visible splendor, carved facades, hollowed-out sanctuaries, and even more subtle design lies hidden. A complex and ingenious network of water management is integrated into the very fabric of the Lalibela complex, preventing catastrophic flooding and erosion, ensuring preservation. Some channels direct water into cisterns and baptismal pools, reservoirs for liturgy and community. Cool water circulating under the rock may have drawn heat away, natural air conditioning beneath the Ethiopian sun. The murmur of water would have created a serene soundscape, masking noise and focusing minds in prayer. They anticipated geology and climate, engineering solutions both practical and spiritually resonant. They saw the mountain as living, its veins and arteries channeled and directed. A holistic vision where architecture, engineering, and the natural world are woven into a single symbolic whole. A secret that speaks volumes of their genius. As one delves deeper, the stone itself begins to speak in a multitude of languages. The carvings are not a monolithic expression of a single tradition. Predominantly, the symbolism is Christian. We see magnificent crosses, Greek cross, Lalibela cross. Prominently featured is the Star of David, a powerful link to Ethiopia's ancient Judaic heritage. Look closer and you may find symbols that predate both Christianity and Judaism, swastikas and Bete Mariam. A remarkable process of cultural synthesis, absorbing and reinterpreting older symbols. Ethiopia as crossroads, drawing from Aksumite patterns and influences from India and the Mediterranean. Why did Lalibela build them? to forge a new Jerusalem in the heart of Africa, when travel to the original Holy Land had become perilous. The layout is thought to mirror Jerusalem, with a trench known as the River Jordan and northern and southern clusters. Each church, each tunnel, each courtyard tied to sacred geography. Building downwards also speaks to security, a city virtually invisible from a distance, hidden from invaders, protected by the very earth. A declaration that this new Zion would endure, a testament to a faith so strong it could carve mountains from the inside out. To walk these passages was to walk in the footsteps of Christ and the apostles. Psychological and spiritual engineering that preserved devotion in Ethiopia. Of all the architectural marvels at Lalibela, one stands apart. Isolated, last to be built, and most iconic. This is Bete Giyorgis, the Church of St. George. A perfect monolithic Greek cross, 15 meters deep, carved with breathtaking precision. No additions, no external supports. A single, unified sculpture, a triumphant statement of faith and engineering prowess. Legend tells St. George appeared in a vision. His steed's hoofprints are said to remain in the rock. The descent is a journey, carefully orchestrated by the architects. It rises from a three-tiered plinth, its walls tapering slightly as they ascend. The roof, level with the ground, bears a cross within a cross, echoed throughout its design, every line clean, every angle true, not built but revealed, a primordial form waiting in the rock. Its perfect symmetry and geometric purity speak a universal language of harmony and order. More than a jewel, it is the heart of this sacred landscape, where the raw power of nature and the highest aspirations of human faith meet in a single, unforgettable form. The wonders of Lalibela extend into the unseen realm of sound. The stone seems tuned for a specific purpose. Silence outside, clarity within. Spaces amplify, clarify, carry sound. In certain chambers, a whisper in one corner can be heard perfectly in the opposite corner. Builders shaped for structure, beauty, and acoustics. The resonance lends a unique timbre, architecture as instrument. These monolithic churches are not relics sealed behind glass. They are alive. They breathe with a people who have never left. Great festivals, Timkat, Jena, swell these courtyards and tunnels with pilgrims. Rituals the same King Lalibela would have witnessed. Remarkable cultural continuity. The cycle continues. Silence filled with history, unwavering faith, and the promise of a new day. Here, the past is the very ground beneath one's feet, living, breathing, shaping the present and guiding the future. When confronted with impossible scale and precision, we look for blueprints, quarries, discarded tools, machinery. Yet the earth remains stubbornly silent. Sheer perfection, unwavering straightness, intricate delicacy. Could this be the legacy of a forgotten science? Advanced sonics? Chemical processes to soften rock? Hypotheses of wonder and disbelief? Or a lost human potential? Immense dedication, guild knowledge, superhuman patience, working in concert, guided by profound understanding of stone. A testament to human ingenuity at its absolute peak. An alternative theory whispers, not creation, but reclamation. Did Lalibela restore something far older? Erosion patterns, some argue, are inconsistent with only 8 centuries. Parallels with megaliths worldwide raise tantalizing comparisons. Swastikas, older motifs, remnants of original builders. If true, who carved them in a distant past? And what loss buried their knowledge, leaving only these silent giants as clues? We confront what is arguably the greatest architectural mystery on the African continent. Modern tools can measure the removed rock, 40,000 cubic meters for Bete Medane Alam alone, but cannot definitively explain the methods. How such precision? How hollowed interiors with tons of rock overhead? Where are the blueprints, ledgers, chronicles? The silence is deafening. It challenges assumptions about ancient capabilities and neat timelines of progress. a treasure of world heritage, an enduring monument to boundless human creativity. These churches are not mere relics. They are an active, living question posed in stone. They ask us to look deeper, think broadly, remain humble, acknowledging how much we do not know about our collective story. So what is the final truth of Lalibela? Was it a miracle, divinely inspired and built with the help of celestial beings? Was it the singular vision of a genius king, marshaling human determination to superhuman heights? Or the last remnant of a lost civilization, a much older human story? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. One thing is certain: these monolithic churches, carved from the heart of a mountain, should be as world-famous as the pyramids of Giza or the Acropolis of Athens. A testament to faith, a marvel of engineering, and a profound unanswered question carved into stone. The story of Lalibela deserves to be told, debated, and wondered at for generations. It challenges what we think we know about history and inspires us to look with new eyes. Which ancient mystery should I uncover next? Göbekli Tepe, Derinkuyu, Pumapunku? Your curiosity guides our journey. Let me know in the comments which enigma you want to explore. These are the amazing parts of history the world never taught you, and our exploration has only just begun. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing history the world never taught you.